Pranam everybody. Jeevan Sadhana, a noble art of living. Audio 10, Chapter 28. Let the fragrance of Jeevan Sadhana waft across on this Vasant. Following the cosmic order, the wind blows soothingly and the rivers flow with nectarine waters. May the herbs be sweet for us. Yajurved. Honey sweet Vasant, spring, has once again come to our homes and lives with its full zest and vibrancy. It has brought on its wings the invigorating message of Jeevan Sadhana. The same message had come to our Reverend Guru Satta, spiritual guide, Param Puj Gurudev, on the Vasant Parv in 1926. This time too, the air is permeated with the same fragrance. The horizon has the same glow. The nature is suffused with the same exuberant surge of vital energy. In 1926, the Vasant time message in the life of Gurudev had been brought by his own spiritual guru. This time, the celestial tunes of this message have been composed for us by the transcendent consciousness of our Gurudev. The advent of this Vasant is a time of test for us. On this auspicious and festive occasion, are we as wakeful and alert as was our Reverend Gurudev, who, in his very first meeting with his Guru, surrendered himself completely to him and became a sadhak of Jeevan Sadhana? As a sadhak and a disciple, every dimension of the life of Gurudev is a source of inspiration to be read, contemplated upon, and followed. From the very first instant of his Jeevan Sadhana, words of the Guru became Vedic dicta, an unflinching faith in the Guru, his whole identity. In every aspect of sadhana, be it dietary rules or refinement of conduct and thoughts, or the awe-inspiring tapa, the standards set by him are milestone for us. Can we, his spiritual progeny, surrender ourselves completely to the Sadguru? Do we possess the courage to be true disciples? Are we earnest to overcome fully our stultifying lethargy and the unyielding ego which fumes and frets at the drop of a hat? Those aspiring to tread this path should judge themselves on this Vasant Parv in the light of Gurudev's life of a sadhak. This is the touchstone of their sadhana and of the sincerity of their discipleship. It is generally observed that on the one hand, we talk endlessly of Jeevan Sadhana and take pride in our discipleship, and on the other, are ever ready to plunge into a do-or-die situation from some small benefit or satisfaction of the ego. Annihilate, if we must, our selfishness, our egoity, our conceit. A true disciple's identity is non-distinct from his guru's. Only the gross body is his own. The inner consciousness is that of his Sadguru. This is possible only when the merry journey of life is steel with the hot embers of tap, the flames growing bigger and higher with every advance of the step. The sadhak's life of Gurudev is its best example. When did he crave for respect and honor? When did he bother for his identity? When did his ego obstruct his path? He had but only one passion, the task assigned to him by his Guru. An intense and fervent desire to dissolve himself fully in this task was his only identity. Every second of his life, every day, month and year of it, sent out only this message. It is this ardor which elevated him to the pinnacle of sadhana. If suprasensory powers are to be given recognition as visible proofs, it can be positively said Gurudev accomplished rarest of the wonders in the course of his Jeevan Sadhana. He not only acquired the spiritual glories and powers scarcely within the reach of even Mahayogis, but also liberally transmitted them to some worthy recipients. As a Mahasiddha, great mystic, the life of Gurudev is as much a saga of heroic endeavor, rigorous austerities, and supreme sacrifice as it is of compassion, paternal love, kind heartedness, and extraordinary generosity for his followers. If we can attentively perceive, this bounty is available to us even now. Only his gross body has gone. His transcendent consciousness still pervades every pore of our beings. He exists just around us. We have only to open our hearts, and then we will realize how eager he is to shower his innumerable heavenly gifts on us. Even at this moment, through these words, he wants to mingle his voice with our emotions, something like what he had said on one occasion. Try to shape and see and experience yourself as a person who has courage as well as illumined wisdom, who is humble, whose character has the fragrance of tapa, and who has the capacity for ceaseless striving for self growth. If he occasionally stumbles or is faced with a failure, he is not perturbed or loses his patience, but resumes his journey on the sadhana path with renewed vigor and courage, because he knows that the setback is temporary because he knows that the setback is temporary, failure is transitory. At the end, success is certain. You and only you have a right over the ultimate and supreme accomplishment of Jivan Sadhana. This is inevitable. No one can alter this verity in any circumstances, because the responsibility of taking you to that pinnacle is mine. These words of Gurudev are a source of unlimited energy and courage for us, his followers, on this Vasant Parv. So no more delay or prevarication. With him in mind, step ahead for Jivan Sadhana now, this moment. Chapter 29. Golden Tips for Living a Purposeful Life. May we behold in our inner self the Supreme Being, who is the embodiment of vital energy, prana, the destroyer of suffering, the annihilator of sin, the joy incarnate, the sublime, the resplendent, the divine. May that Supreme Being inspire our minds towards the enlightened, righteous path. Rigved, Yajurved, Samved. Friends, the refinement and sublimation of personality depends upon cultivation of virtuous qualities. All of you can shape your personality in a better way and transform it into a glorious one. Eminence and nobility of personality is an invaluable asset which leads to success in all domains of the physical, worldly, and spiritual life. Wealth, materialistic tools, or support and cooperation of others alone is not sufficient for worthwhile achievements. These resources are useful and could be necessary, but above all this, the master key is sublimity of one's own personality. How to refine the talents, how to develop an elevated personality, how to endow with virtuous qualities and potentials. This is the paramount question, the central focus of the art of living. Finding its methodology, and proceeding accordingly is indeed like achieving at least half the goal towards a brilliant and fulfilling life. From crudity to chisel refinement. Jivan Sadhana means transmutation and enhancement of potentials, abilities, and conduct by self-endeavor. The subtle mental imprints of the previous lives in the chain of 84,000 yonis, different life forms, continue to influence one's tendencies in the human life as well. As a result, in the crude state of human life, one's cravings, behavior, and actions are often driven by beastly instincts and negative mental tendencies. Until uprooted and thrown out, these kusanskaras, evil impressions on the mind, hinder the refinement of personality. Elimination of these untoward, negative, and pernicious and pernicious instincts, habits, and desires by untiring efforts and simultaneous cultivation of ennobling character and deeds is the real sadhana of human life. This sadhana is no less exacting than taming and training a wild animal and to engage it in constructive activities as per our will. As crude metal from the mines is melted and refined in the fire before it could be processed to make shining ornaments, likewise the impurities of the kusanskaras need to be burnt out in the fire of devout ascetic practices, tap, of self-restraint and penance. The endeavors towards self-refinement are simultaneously accompanied by those of self-development through cultivation of noble qualities, upright conduct and character, value of human life, and promotion of the worthy potentials and talents. This is how we can manufacture and design the precious jewels from the gold mine of capabilities gifted to us by nature. We should root out from the field of our life all the thorny weeds of evil tendencies and weaknesses of our nature and remold ourselves as civilized and cultured human beings. True success possible only through single-pointed sadhana. Sadhana is the key to paranormal attainments and preeminent success in human life. Jivan sadhana should be an integral part of our lives. For this, we should introspect and analyze our thoughts, our conduct, and our activities impartially and thoroughly. We should also develop positive attitude and sincerely endeavor to uproot the infirmities, untoward, and evil tendencies lying dormant within us. This process of constant self-effort, of gradual refinement and upliftment also implies conscious self-development, widening of outlook, and altruistic involvement in the sorrows and joys of others. Self-development is achieved by substitution of selfishness by selflessness. This is what leads to supernormal attainments and awakening of divinity in the human heart. Positive transformation of attitude. The cornerstone of overall self-transformation is transformation of the attitude. Change your outlook towards yourself. Think and feel yourself not as the gross body, the immortal soul for which this life and the body is only a sojourn in the infinite journey. You are born for the self-realization, for enlightenment, unbounded spiritual progress. No doubt, you should take care of healthy sustenance of the body, but don't confine the goal of your life only to blindly pursue after the possession of its comforts and pleasures. Your attitude should be eating to survive and not surviving to eat. Take proper care of the body as an instrument for the optimum use of the faculties of your sense organs and the mind. Change your views and behavior on the personal, familial, and social fronts of life accordingly. Once you turn your attention inward and look at yourself as the soul, you will find marvelous solutions to all your problems and worries. The door of immense joy and progress will be wide open before you. True devotion. Friends, life is a precious gift. Don't let worldly allurements and attachments overpower and overshadow the beatitude and sublimity of your real self and the pristine dignity of your life. Look at the life of Goswami Tulsidas, for example. When he was blindly driven by sensual attractions and attachments, he received nothing but disdain, scorn, and agony. Disdain, scorn, and agony. But once his inner self was lit by the light of devotion to God, the same man became the great venerable Saint Tulsidas, the author of the holy Ramcharitmanas of immortal glory. But see, his devotion was not like ours. We chant the mantras, rotate the rosary, but our minds remain restive and unstable, roving around our tensions, desires, and what not. His was a total self-surrender. Nothing mattered to him except the devotion to Lord Ram. Such was the potency of his inner fervor for his deity that it could compel Lord Ram himself to appear before him and bless him in his embodied form. Fight the Mahabharata within yourself. Mahabharata is said to be the greatest war ever fought on this earth. Friends, you should know that the first step towards spiritual upliftment is to fight this gigantic war yourself in the battlefield of your own psyche to wipe out its accumulated vices and tendencies. Our lives remain enslaved to the insane appetites and tendencies of the mind until and unless we are able to win this perpetual war against hostile hordes of Kauravas entrenched within us. Winning this war means attaining ultimate victory, becoming omnipotent. Those who conquer their minds are called Manasvi. Success lies at their feet. They are the ones who become truly great personalities, saints, divine beings. If you care and aspire for elevation to higher domains in life, join the great battle against the evils lodged within you. The first step towards triumph in this battle is the adoption of the principle of simple living and high thinking. Rise and march towards higher goals. Friends, if you adopt the principle of simple living and high thinking, you would soon start attaining rapid progress in life. Simplicity of lifestyle will automatically eliminate your sense of scarcity. This, together with the positive and constructive transformation of your thinking and feelings, will enable you to make constructive use of whatever resources you have. You would be happier with the same set of tools, facilities, and resources you had earlier. Not only that, by prudent use of your potentials, you will also be able to help others. Even if you are not able to go out and work for social service or offer visible help to others, you must keep your thoughts open for that. Think good, think high, think like the great, the wise. Your imaginations, your aspirations must now be directed towards better, brighter, and nobler objectives. Leave the slippery path of decline. Come out of the hell and look at beauty of the heaven. Live for ultimate salvation. Salvation implies emancipation from all evils, sensual attractions, selfish attachments, illusions, and sufferings. Moving towards the heaven, divine paradise means pursuing those ideals and principles which bestow everlasting peace, unalloyed joy, pure knowledge, and soul contentment. Start bringing about the needed change in your thinking, living, behavior, actions from this very moment so that you could march ahead towards the attainment of the preeminent goal of life. Thank you. Om Shanti.